Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Gary Payton didn't do well last season, but he's a great player who could return to his best days, and the Warriors are considering re-signing him. One beloved veteran leaves, but another might be coming back. The Golden State Warriors played their first game at Summer League in Las Vegas on Friday against the Portland Trail Blazers, but it might be about who's around the team that's just as intriguing as the games themselves. After losing Kevin Looney to the New Orleans Pelicans and with Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency holding up other moves, there's a significant watch on how the Warriors will fill out the remainder of their roster. The Warriors may have hinted at bringing back Gary Payton too. After letting Looney walk to the Pelicans without even providing a competitive offer, there was a thought that Golden State would also be ready to move on from veteran guard Gary Payton too. That's even more the case when you consider that the Warriors have drafted a 6'4" guard in Will Richard and reportedly have strong interest in a reunion with DeAnthony Melton, but it seems as if the franchise may still bring Payton back as an unrestricted free agent. According to Joseph Dicus of the Mercury News on Friday, Payton and fellow free agent Pat Spencer have joined contracted trio Brandon Podziemski, Quinton Post and Tracy Jackson-Davis in being around and working out with the Summer League squad. Warriors vets Brandon Podziemski, Quinton Post and Tracy Jackson-Davis were also working out with the team. And signed free agents Gary Payton II and Pat Spencer were also there. Payton's presence around the team is an interesting development, leading to the question of whether that would indeed be the case if they were expecting to lose the 32-year-old in free agency. Is there a handshake agreement already in place, but one that can't become official until the Kuminga situation is resolved? It's hard to see the Warriors wanting to bring Payton back while bringing in Richard, Melton and also showing interest in the veteran star duo of Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal. In saying that, point-of-attack defense is a need on the roster and relying on an injury-prone Melton coming off a torn ACL is fraught with danger. Spencer's presence is also fascinating given Golden State failed to tender a qualifying offer to the 29-year-old. Spencer is still eligible for a two-way contract next season, but the chances of that might stem from the development of fellow point guard Taron Armstrong across the course of Summer League and the offseason. Armstrong was one of the rare positives for the Warriors in their opening game in Las Vegas, with the 23-year-old recording 10 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists and 4 steals in the 106-73 loss to the Portland Trail Blazers. Warriors' hopes of signing Bradley Beal receive a boost after shock rival move. One less contender for Beal's signature? The Golden State Warriors may be facing one less contender for the services of Bradley Beal, with the 3x All-Star set to become a free agent once a contract buyout is finalized with the Phoenix Suns. While everyone in the league awaits that confirmation, another buyout has been confirmed with young guard Cole Anthony departing the Memphis Grizzlies after being involved in the blockbuster Desmond Bane trade last month. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, the Milwaukee Bucks have already organized to sign Anthony once he clears waivers in a notable addition following the departure of star guard Damian Lillard. Cole Anthony addition might rule the Bucks out from landing Bradley Beal. It will be interesting to see whether the Anthony signing impacts the Bucks' ability to land Beal when he becomes a free agent, or whether it's an indication that the veteran guard had already turned down the opportunity to join Giannis Antetokounmpo and company. That could leave the Warriors in a better position to sign Beal, with they and the Bucks confirmed as two of multiple teams to have interest in the 32-year-old according to NBA insiders Mark Stein and Jake Fisher earlier on Saturday. The Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Timberwolves and, yes, Giannis Bucks are teams with a confirmed interest in signing Beal once he reaches the open market, Stein and Fisher wrote. Cole Anthony has agreed to a contract buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies and plans to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks after he clears waivers, sources tell ESPN. Grizzlies finalized the buyout with Jeff Schwartz and Javon Phillips of Excel Sports for Anthony's new opportunity. The Bucks have already brought back guards Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr. and former Warrior Ryan Rollins this offseason, while the Anthony signing comes in addition to 30-year-old Gary Harris as a free agent. Add sharpshooter AJ Green to that group and you have to wonder whether Milwaukee would have signed Anthony if they thought they were a legitimate chance of landing Beal. Even if the Bucks are now out of the Beal sweepstakes with this Anthony addition, the Warriors will still have a tough time beating out the Clippers, who are widely considered the top contender for the former third overall pick. The Clippers signaled their intention to land Beal by trading veteran guard Norman Powell to the Miami Heat earlier in the week, solidifying their front court depth by adding Utah Jazz big man John Collins in the process. Golden State have been linked to both Beal and Lillard, the latter of which is already a free agent but who is not expected to return to the floor until after the All-Star break as he recovers from a torn Achilles. The Warriors are expected to reunite with former guard DeAnthony Melton as a free agent, but it remains to be seen whether that will impact any thought they have of acquiring Beal or Lillard. Stephen Curry, Warriors wake up to big LeBron James trade update. Stephen Curry and LeBron James could team up as the Warriors reignite their pursuit of the Lakers star. For years, Stephen Curry and LeBron James were foes. They finally got a chance to play together in the Olympics, giving the fans a glimpse of what could have been. Now, they could be joining forces again, this time in the NBA. According to a report by ESPN insiders Brian Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne, the Golden State Warriors are seriously considering making a run at James. A handful of teams, including the Golden State Warriors, who tried to trade for James in 2023-24, considered again whether to make an offer, sources said, reported Windhorst and Shelburne. The Warriors already tried to trade for LeBron James, but he wasn't interested in taking his talents to the Bay Area, per reports. However, things may have changed, now that the Los Angeles Lakers might be gearing up to move on from him. Per Windhorst and Shelburne, James didn't care for the way the Lakers handled his contract situation. They didn't offer him an extension or even discuss his future beyond this season. The Lakers had already made their statement in not offering James a contract beyond this season. It was abundantly clear that the 21-time All-Star's time as the face of the Lakers had, for the first time, a planned end date, even if James' record-setting NBA career did not yet, added the report. Brandon Podziemski issues clear thoughts on Warriors' future. The Golden State Warriors made headlines in February when they pulled off the trade for Jimmy Butler, a move that had fans dreaming of another deep playoff run. But even with Jimmy buckets in the mix, things didn't quite go as planned, and the Warriors bowed out in the conference semis to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Fast forward to now, the off-season's been pretty quiet, with no major new faces coming in. Still, Brandon Podziemski isn't losing sleep over it. In fact, he's feeling pretty good about where the Warriors stand in the Western Conference. In a recent clip shared on X, Podziemski spoke about what his team has to do in order to retain a top 4 spot in the West. "Really looking forward to what we can do," Podziemski said during Golden State's Summer League game Friday night. "If we can get a similar record and similar start to when he, Butler, got here, we feel like we can be a top 4 seed in the West. And it allows us to down the stretch be able to rest our older guys." It's been a bit of a roller coaster for the Warriors since they won their last championship in 2022. They've just struggled to build out a solid roster and a deep bench, mostly because they don't have a ton of room to spend with the salary cap. Sure, they've won a playoff series here and there, but they haven't really looked like legitimate title contenders for a while. That started to shift last season, though. They made the tough call to let Klay Thompson walk in free agency, which gave their younger guards more room to shine. And after a rocky start, they pulled off a big move, bringing in Butler, Steph Curry's best running mate since Kevin Durant. Suddenly, they looked a bit more dangerous in the West. Of course, the roster still isn't perfect. They don't need to blow it all up, just tweak a few things. And a lot of that comes down to what happens with Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency, which could be the swing factor in taking this team to the next level. Celtics' Al Horford expected to make Warriors' decision soon. Brad Stevens made it known earlier in the week that the Boston Celtics don't expect to have Al Horford back next season. There have been a few teams interested in signing the veteran, with the Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, and Los Angeles Lakers being the 3 teams typically brought up. While there's some uncertainty about what Horford will do throughout the rest of his career, as some have suggested that he could retire, It was recently reported by Zach Lowe that the expectation around the league is for him to end up with the Warriors. He's uncertain what the holdup is, but he expects him to sign with Golden State sometime in the near future. All the reporting is that Al Horford is going to be there, Lowe said on his podcast Thursday, 35 hours and 45 minutes mark. Something is delaying it, I don't know what that is. I expect him to be there. Horford doesn't have to make a decision right now, as he's likely weighing multiple options. Whether it be from contending teams, thinking about returning to Boston despite Stevens' comments, or even considering retirement, the veteran has a lot on his plate. The Warriors are in a position where they need more talent, so it'd be tough for them to lose Horford if he signs elsewhere, but it makes the most sense for him to go there outside of the Nuggets. The Warriors would give him a chance to win a championship, despite them not being as talented as they have been in years past, due to their age. Ben Simmons and Seth Curry to Warriors report surfaces. The Golden State Warriors have had a surprisingly quiet offseason so far despite moving on from 6'9" center Kevin Looney. With Stephen Curry now joined by Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, the Warriors are under pressure to round out the roster with reliable depth, especially in the frontcourt and on the bench. Speculation has linked Golden State to a number of potential veteran additions, including Celtics big man Al Horford, as the Warriors look to remain contenders in the Western Conference. While a deal with Horford has yet to materialize, new names have now emerged as possible targets that could help improve the Warriors' depth. According to ClutchPoint's Brett Siegel, Ben Simmons and Seth Curry are two players Golden State is keeping an eye on this summer. Outside of players like Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Lyles, and Gary Payton II, who we previously reported as potential free agent targets for the Warriors this offseason, two other interesting names were brought up in conversations during the first 2 days of NBA Summer League: Seth Curry and Ben Simmons, Siegel wrote. A healthy Simmons could offer the Warriors size, defensive switchability, and playmaking alongside Draymond Green. Last season, Simmons spent time with both the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Clippers, averaging 5.0 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game while shooting 52% from the field. Though questions remain about his health, his passing and defense could be valuable assets in Steve Kerr's system. Seth Curry, meanwhile, would bring elite floor spacing off the bench. He shot a blistering 45.6% from three-point range last season with the Charlotte Hornets and could finally team up with his brother Steph for the first time in their NBA careers if a deal materializes. Both Curry and Simmons know each other well on the court too. They were teammates on the Brooklyn Nets before Curry was traded back to the Mavericks and Simmons eventually landed with the Clippers. Dubs viewed as likely Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton landing spot. A recent report revealed that the Golden Warriors are viewed as the favorites to add veterans Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton through free agency. The Dubs front office has been largely quiet this offseason, as it looks to build off a relatively encouraging season. The Jimmy Butler trade did wonders for a franchise that was struggling to find its way early in the season. Golden State subsequently made it to the second round of the playoffs, before falling to the Minnesota Timberwolves. While Stephen Curry was hurt for the majority of that series, there are still plenty of questions about whether this roster has a championship ceiling. One of the main weaknesses has been in the frontcourt, particularly at center, with the Warriors lacking a legit interior presence on both ends. In addition, Golden State struggled heavily to create offense when Curry went down. The franchise is therefore looking to lessen these weaknesses with two experienced free agents, according to Brett Siegel. The National NBA Insider gave a behind-the-scenes look at Golden State's approach. Behind the scenes, the Warriors have been active in free agency despite not agreeing to any new contract yet. Among the notable names linked to Golden State this offseason, Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton loom large, sources said. Although he has been linked to a few other teams, the expectation from other teams outside the Warriors at Summer League is that the 39-year-old won't retire and he will instead play his 19th NBA season with Golden State. This addition would check off Dunleavy's box for shooting in the front court, as well as an experienced player who can shoot, pass, and dribble. Then there is Melton, who has been linked to the Warriors, as well as the Lakers, since the start of free agency. During the first week of free agency, there was no shortage of league personnel who believed Melton's signing with Los Angeles was inevitable. The Lakers need a versatile defender on the perimeter who can knock down multiple three-point shots, which is why Melton was viewed as the perfect fit. Horford would be a great fit on this roster as a great floor spacer and still a quality defender. The five-time All-Star brings a size, versatility, and winning pedigree that would make him a key player on this roster right away. While Melton is a more limited player, he played 6 games for the Warriors this past year and is an efficient three-point shooter and a solid on-ball defender. Both of these moves would not be splashy ones by any means, but they are the kind of additions on the margins that will immediately make the Warriors better.